guide your visitors straight to the right products as you were advising them in person. With this plugin, you can. To get the free version and also help me at the same time, go to wp.discount/wp-guidant. This link is also in the comments and in the description of this video. It's a free plugin, but if you decide to upgrade to the Pro version, I get a small commission, so thank you very much. And then we are at the website of WP Guidant, product recommendation quiz and guided selling plugin. First, I will be showing you the free version, and after that I will demonstrate you the Pro version, so you can decide if you want to get it, and I even got a 10% discount code for you. Let's first start with the free download. So we click over here, and then we click on this blue button, download. The next step is to log into your WordPress website. If you're still logging in using WP Admin, that's not a very safe way, so please watch my tutorial over here and I'll show you exactly how to secure your WordPress website. Then on your dashboard, we go to Plugins, Add New Plugin. Click on Upload Plugin. Click on Browse. And then we select the file Guidant we have just downloaded. Press Open. And press Install Now. And then we press Activate Plugin. And then the first thing they're asking is feedback. Well, that's a bit early, so I'm going to close this one. And then we can help them or no thanks them. I'm going to allow them. And then we see on the left side WP Guidant. Let's click on it. Then we don't have any guide yet. We don't have any custom fields yet. And also no guide uses recorded yet. All right. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a guide. So we click on Create Guide. Let's fill in a guide name. It's only for in the backend, so your visitors won't see it. The guide name will be Dump Watch Guide. And the guide title will be shown on your front end. So let's create a nice one. Let's find the perfect dump watch. And the description is also visible on the front end. Something like this. You can always change it later on. Then we press on Create. And here we have the dump watch guide and the shortcode, so we can place it on our website. We'll be doing that in just a minute. The next thing we'll do is go over here to Manage Filters. Because when guiding people, we need filters so that the system knows what kind of products they need to recommend. Press on Create New Filter. The first one is again only for in the backend. So I'm just gonna say color, and then we're gonna ask the question which will be visible on the front end. What colors do you like wearing? Then after the title comes the description, and then we scroll down and we're gonna select the filter type. And we have three options: the card, the slider, or the form. In this case, let's go with the card, and we can choose the card type, a checkbox or a radio button. Well, let's go with the checkboxes so we can check multiple boxes. Press Create. Once the filter has been created, you can click over here to manage the cards. Click on it. Then we're going to create a new card. First of all, we're going to give this card a label. Let's put it on black. Then we have the card description, which is only for the Pro version. Then we can select a card image. I'm going to select a black dump watch over here so people can actually have an idea how it looks. Then we need to set the condition behavior, which is very important as you might not get the right results if you select the wrong one. You have or any of the conditions need to be matched. But you can also choose for and. All conditions need to be matched. Because obviously I'm not going to advise them to use pink ones if they select black. Now, just a quick disclaimer on the condition behavior. It can be quite challenging and confusing which one you should select. So if you're testing out your guide and the filter doesn't work the way like you intended, try changing this condition behavior a little bit around and also with the card conditions in just a second. Then we need to create a condition, because when you select black, the system needs to know what is black. So we're going to press on Create New Condition. Then we need to select the right attribute. So click on it. And if you have created attributes, you scroll down, we go to WooCommerce. You can choose category, tags, product, prices, sale prices. But what we need to do is product attributes, because there is where I configured my colors of my different kind of watches. Click on it. Then we have the matching type. It can be equal, not equal, like, not like, contains, all these things. With colors, I need it to be equal. Just a quick disclaimer about the matching types. It can be quite challenging and confusing to select the right one. Usually you use equal or not equal as the most simple one. But if the guide does not filter the right products, try changing this a little bit around. Then you can choose your value selection. Do you want it from your WordPress settings or do you want to be a manual entry? Of course, I've already set it up, so we're using the WordPress settings. Click over there. And then when I click on value, all my values from all my product attributes will be loaded in to here. And that's very useful. So in this case, the black color, and we press on create. I need to do this with all different kind of colors because this card is only about the black one. But let's press on save changes, back to all cards. And I'm just going to add in a few cards for different kind of colors. Then I have added black, pink, silver and gold, 4 different kind of colors we are offering in our web shop. Then we go back to all filters. Let's add in another filter, create filter. We're going to add in the filter name, which is called storage. The title, how many storage do you need? Then we scroll down and we're going to change the filter type. We're going to use a slider for this example. Press create. And then over here, we click on this one, manage sliders, create a new slider. Then we're going to add in a label above the slider, which will be how much storage do you need? And then we scroll down, we're going to change the minimum range. In our case, I'm talking about MBs, so I'm not going to use 0. The minimum range will be 250 MB and the maximum will be 2000. So that's 2 terabyte. The slider step will be 10. And the text before and after slide value can be useful if you're using, for example, currencies. In our case, I just want to add in MBs behind it so that it's clear. Condition behavior, any of the conditions need to be matched. That would be great. Okay, there we go. Scroll up, then we go to slider conditions. Click on it. We're going to create a new condition. In this case, I want to show you that you can also use tags. So we type in tag and we have WooCommerce product tags. Click on it, then the magic type should be greater than. Press create. And of course, you can also add in more conditions for this specific filter. Press save changes. Then we go back to all sliders, back to all filters. We have filter 1, the color. We have filter 2, the storage. Let's add in another one. The filter name will be waterproof and the filter title, will your dump watch get wet? Then we're going to change the filter type over there to a card, and the card type could be a radio. Press create. There we are. Then we go over here to the cards, click on it, create a new card. The first card will be splash and rain, and then the card image, it will be this one, rain and splash. Great. Condition behavior, any of the conditions need to be matched and all conditions need to be matched. Well, let's go with or, because if you just want splash and rain, you can also use a diving watch. But you cannot use a watch only for splash and rain if you're going to dive and swim. So that's why this one is any of the conditions need to be matched. Let's go with the card conditions, create one. We're going to use a product attributes again, and it has to be equal with the WordPress setting. And then we select the value is... There we go, splash and rain. Create, save changes, back to all cards, splash and rain. We're going to add another card, which will be swimming. Then we're going to select a swim image. Here we go, select it. And all conditions need to be matched this time. Go with card conditions. And the condition is a product attribute. It has to be equal to swimming and snorkeling. Create. But then we're going to add in another condition, because if it only has to comply with splash and rain, you can also use one for swimming and snorkeling, because that will work. Add another condition. It also can be a diving ISO certificate. With this card, we can create 3 different conditions, because when you just want to use it for splash and rain, you can of course also use it for swimming and use it for diving. Those watches will also work in the splash and in the rain. All right, let's go back to all cards, save changes, back to all cards. And then we're going to add in the final card, which is diving. Select this diving image, select it. And then all conditions need to be matched. We go to cart conditions, create a new condition, product attribute has to be equal from diving, create. Save changes, back to all carts, back to all filters. I should probably change this to water resistant. Alright, now we have 3 simple filters. Let me show you the last kind of filter, which is the form. So we're going to create the form and we're going to add a filter, which is called engraving. Would you like to personalize your watch with a engraving? Great. The filter type should be a form in this case, and we're going to press create. There we are, engraving, manage form elements. There we go. Let's create a new element. The element label would be your engraving. The input type should be an input field, select field, checkbox, radio field, or text area. Let's go with the input field. The input type can be text, number, email, password, date, or time. Let's go with text. And this field is optional because they should leave it empty. Custom class name, that's not applicable. So this is great. We press save changes. Then we go back to all elements. And then we have created our first guide. Now let me show you how it looks on the front end. Back to all guides. Click to copy the shortcode. It has been copied. And then we're going to create a new page, which is called guide. So add a new page. This will be a guide. And we're going to edit it with Elementor. And then I will be adding a shortcode. And then the shortcode will be WP Guidant code, this one, and press apply. There we go, and press publish. And if I then go to my guide page, here is the guide. Let's find the perfect dump watch. What colors do I like? Well, let's say I only want to have black ones, maybe also a silver one. Press next. How much storage do I need? I stream everything on my device, so I don't need any storage actually. So 250 MBs, here we go. I do like to dive once in a while. I press next. Do you like to personalize your watch with engraving? Of course. And then I press show results. My personal results is the dump watch 2, but also more results that should be might be the dump watch Nebula, as these 2 dump watches are also ready for diving. But if I do my guide again and I'll select all colors, there we go. I press next, next, and I go with splash and rain. I should see all my dump watches like the E-Note, the dump watch 2, Nebula, XR, and the Max. This guide actually works perfectly. From here we can go to view, then I go straight to my web shop and I can buy the dump watch E-Note here. This is really great. It works awesome. Now, of course, this guide needs some styling. Look at the background. Also, there's powered by WP Guidant. The image is way too big. I don't like the color of this button. All these things need to be changed. How can we do that? If you're looking at all guides, you can also go to the right side and you can press on Guide Settings and Design. Click on it. Let me walk you through all these settings in here so you can see exactly how it works. We have the basic settings. We've already gone through them. Then we have the advanced settings. We can have submission reports enabled or disabled in the free version. And then we have a couple of options only available in the pro version. The custom CSS might be useful and also in a pop-up. Sounds great. Let's go to the design. Now this is a good reason to buy the pro version because it's only in the pro version. We have the filter design. We can change the previous and next button. This one would be nice to change because the submit button can be show results or advise me the right product. All these things you can change it in here. Then all the colors only can be changed in the pro version. Then we have the card design. We can change the size of it, the label colors, all in the pro version. The slider design, also the form design. Then we go to a real cool one, conditional logic. If I can create logic, I can choose the elements which only can be cards, like the colors or the water resistant in my case. Let's, for example, if you choose the black one, then the filter to hide is the engraving because you can't engrave the black watch, for example. So this conditional logic works really great. Let's scroll down and we can also change the results. Display result on completion. You can choose yes, but you can also choose no, which is a very nice feature. Now they will see the text. Thank you for your feedback. We will reach back to you soon. You can change this text for something like, thank you very much. A salesperson will call you to get you the right product. But if you choose yes, you can also change the headline, the more results, and you can choose the no result text. Then we can change all the colors in the Pro version. Then we go to the result attributes. Here we can fine tune how the results actually look. You can drag and drop this around. So first the title, then the thumbnail, then the price, then the excerpt, and then the permalink button. Well, maybe we don't want to have the excerpt. Maybe we want over here product title, or maybe we do want to have the thumbnail, the excerpt, the category, or maybe the price, or maybe some custom field you have created especially for this guiding. It's all possible. What you can also do is just delete the entire thing. Here we go. And now we have only the title, thumbnail, price, and the permalink button. Now, if you want to get the Pro version, I do have a discount code for you. So first we go to wp.discount/wp-guidant. Wow, there's also a 60% discount going on right now because of the holidays. This is amazing. And we can also choose to have a lifetime deal. Now, I really love lifetime deals. We can buy an annual license for, well, these are the discounted prices right now. And you can also go for a lifetime license, which of course I truly love and is actually a no-brainer if you start looking at the prices per year and for 2 years and 3 years and 4 years. So for this tutorial, I'm just going to use the Achiever license. I press on purchase now. Because we already have 13% discount, I cannot give you another 10% discount. But if there is no discount going on right now when you watch this video, go over here, have a discount code and type in over there MAD10 and you get a 10% discount sponsored by WooCommerce. So that's very, very nice of them. Then fill in all this information over there, create a really strong password and click on purchase. Then we come over here in the checkout and we can do the payment over there. Then we can pay with PayPal, so just click over here or fill in your credit card information and press subscribe now and all is good. Then in your account you can see we have the license and when you click over here the download will automatically start. Then the only thing you need to do is go over here to purchase history. And then we need to click over here, view licenses. And then select your key, double click on it and press copy. Then we go back to WordPress, we go to plugins, add new plugin. Then we're going to press upload plugin. And we're going to select the file we've just downloaded called WP Guidant. Press open and press install now. And then we press activate plugin. Real great. Then we go to WP Guidant over there. And then paste in the license code we have just copied. Press activate license. And there we are. Now the Pro version has been activated. The interesting thing is in the Pro version, you can also see now templates over there. We can just import all these templates so you can reverse engineer them, see how those things work. And that's actually pretty nice feature. But also in here are the reports now. If you click on reports, then we can see all the submission reports and someone has been filling in the dump watch guides multiple times. If you want to see what someone filled in, just click over here on a few detailed submissions. We can see the colors, the storage, the water resistance and the engraving. This is really nice. Here we can select the different guides and you can export all these things as a CSV file. Now that's very useful if you're also asking for email addresses so that you can put them into your email marketing software. But now we can go over here to guide settings and design and we can see that we have a couple of more things. We have more advanced settings. We can also get an email notification. We can also send an email to user on submission. We can configure an email template over there. Really nice. And we can also add now custom CSS, but we can also enable a pop-up. We can change all the guide design. All the designs can now be changed within the Pro version. That's really nice. Another thing you can also do now is export the entire guide. If you click on it, you will get a WP Guidant file. So we go to the dashboard and we can press on import guide. And this way you can just import all your created guides from other websites, staging sites, or maybe if you're deploying a lot of websites or e-commerce sites, this is the way to do it. The only thing I don't see over here is to change the fonts of the different elements on your guide. But of course, you can always go to advanced setting and go with custom CSS and just add it in over here. Problem solved. For example, in the custom CSS, I want to change the width of this thing. I think it is way too small. So I'm just going to add in this custom CSS, max width 1200 pixels, and I press save and save changes. And now when I refresh my guide over here, and now it's 1200 width, which I like way better inside of my design. If you have any questions, drop them down in the comments. I'll always read them and reply. If you also want to build such a beautiful e-commerce website, check out this 4 hours tutorial. It's completely free.